it occurred to us that this country has a problem with STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We need more scientists, and I'm a scientist wannabe. I wasn't smart enough to be one, but I sure like it. And as a kid, I was fascinated with fossils and dinosaurs in particular. So when my son was born, guess what toys I'm buying him? I mean,
T-Rex.
Yeah, T-Rex was the favorite, and so Brontosaurus and, Allosaurus and all those. And then when Jurassic Park came out, that was Brandon's favorite movie, and we loved that stuff. So after Brandon passed, it occurred to me, why not do something in the educational field, try to get kids stimulated in dinosaurs. So it's kind of a long story, but I'll make it short. I wanted to find a dinosaur quarry and get some of my scientist friends, because I have a lot of friends, and some of them are paleontologists, and I'm a paleontologist wannabe. So, I went to Wyoming. I tried to find a quarry up there because that's dinosaur country. I went to Montana. I even went to Switzerland because there was a guy there that had a dinosaur quarry, and we tried to buy it, and I was unsuccessful. I gave up. And a couple of years went by, and I heard that there was some land available for sale in the panhandle of Oklahoma, which I had very rarely been to. It's an area called Black Mesa. Mm-hmm. And so I go up there with my two brother-in-laws, and they're hunters. They're hunting deer and turkeys, and I don't hunt that. I'm hunting something that died specifically about 150 million years old. That's twice as old as T-Rex. It's all like a layer cake. This land is laid down in layers, and like in Oklahoma City, you can't find rocks at the surface that are 150 million years old, but you can in Cimarron County in the Panhandle. And if you go down to the State Museum of Natural History in Norman, the Sam Noble Museum, they have some of the finest dinosaurs in the world there. And many of them came from Black Mesa. The curator back in the 30s and the 40s was finding those dinosaur bones and bringing them to the museum in Sam Noble. And so it wasn't called Sam Noble then. So we went out there, and sure enough, there were a lot of old quarries. They actually all got shut down when Pearl Harbor happened. And so for the most part, there wasn't really much digging going on in Oklahoma after Pearl Harbor. But those old quarries were there, so we got a hold, with the museum's help and some of our paleontologist friends, we got a hold of the quarry maps. The quarry number 5 was the most exciting one. A lot of bones came out of there. They closed that quarry in 1944, I believe. There was a dinosaur that nobody knows about called Saurophaganax. It looks like a T-Rex, twice as old, more than twice as old. But Saurophaganax, if he ever met T-Rex in a dark alley, Saurophaganax would kick T-Rex's butt. T-Rex had these little puny arms. He couldn't even reach his mouth. But Saurophaganax had these huge muscular arms, quite long, but he had these scythes. They were like a sword on the end of both hands. It was a very bad boy. There is a replica Saurophaganax in Norman at the Sam Noble Museum, and it's trying to eat a Brontosaurus, Apatosaurus. People are kind of debating what the name of that animal is, but it's fabulous. If you haven't been down there, you need to go down there. But that dinosaur came from Black Mesa. Okay. So I want to find it. So I bought 700 acres out there 10 or 12 years ago. All my scientist friends go out there every summer. So my movie maker, Derek Watson, and I are walking out there with a scientist one day. And Derek actually saw the first bone. He said, he had been with me to Wyoming. He'd seen fossils, and he said, "Reggie, that looks like bone." Well, it was. It was more than 150 million years old. It was just a little bone, about an inch long. So we brought digging equipment out there and punched into the side of that hill. We now call that the Homestead Quarry. Tons of dinosaur bones have come out of that quarry in the last 10 years. Our scientist friends will be out there in June of 2023 doing their annual dig, and each year we punch into the side of that hill further. We've been doing it for over 10 years. Some of the most scientifically important bones that have ever come out of Oklahoma came out of that quarry. We were taking kids out there every year before COVID, and they were getting to help dig on these bones. It was really cool. And so, hopefully we'll ramp that educational program back up. But we created this program called Explorology. And the name is obvious. We want to explore all of the ologies. Paleontology is my favorite, but biology, zoology, whatever. If it's an ology, we want to teach kids about it. And we have all these wonderful scientists that have day jobs, but they volunteer and they go out there and they teach these kids hands-on. These kids get to dig on a real dinosaur fossil, and it's really cool. Now, we may have actually found some of Saurophaganax, because no one's ever found the skull of Saurophaganax. But we have found a couple of predator teeth, and they look, we know they're either Saurophaganax or Allosaurus, which is another big T-Rex looking critter. But you could take those teeth that we found and hold them up into the light, and you can see the serrated edges just like a steak knife. And these are 150 million years old. It's amazing. But we still haven't found the skull, so stay tuned. So we're in the process right now of making a film. It's probably going to be my last documentary film. But, we've made, I think I told you about Sowing Hope, about Sister Rosemary. We made an addiction film called Killing Pain. It's a 7-episode film. It explains the biology of addiction and how it works, and I think that's very helpful. A lot of schools are using it as an educational tool. And this one is going to be called The Lost Dinosaurs of Black Mesa. Now, why were they lost? Well, they were lost 150 million years ago when they died, but some of those bones were discovered in the 30s and 40s, and they were taken to Norman, and they were wrapped in plaster and newspapers, and they sat under the football stadium for 70 years. And Dr. Michael Mares from Sam Noble started unwrapping them in the late 80s, and some of the most scientifically important dinosaur bones in the world, including what's called Pentaceratops. It is this incredible dinosaur that has the tallest dinosaur skull of any creature that ever walked on Earth. That head is down there in the museum. You got to see it. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records. But Pentaceratops is just one example. But anyway, those bones were lost twice. If Dr. Mares hadn't ordered us to open those, they were probably going to just get thrown away. They sat there for 70 years, and now they're just incredible. So that's the film we're working on right now, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. So stay tuned. It'll come out probably in the spring of 24.